3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Hello guys, and welcome back to the Sports Shift with me, Ian Marquez. So what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be looking into Premier League, previewing next week's matches, which will be coming after the international break. We'll also be looking at some betting picks and basically just digging into the Premier League. Let's get started. Alright, let's look at next week's fixtures after the international break. Starts off with Leicester at home to Chelsea. How do you guys think that's going to go? I think Chelsea get back to winning ways. Leicester, they've just been conceding so many goals. And I think Cole Palmer runs route against Leicester. Arsenal against Forest. I think Forest begin a losing skid. I do think they'll score against Arsenal, but I think Arsenal will have enough to pull out the victory and try and maintain some pressure on Manchester City. I know this is pretty a big game because both they're leveling up points at the top, but I think Arsenal will have enough to do what is necessary. Both teams on 19 points, 4th versus 5th, but I think Arsenal will pull through. Aston Villa at home to Crystal Palace. I think Aston Villa get back to winning ways. Crystal Palace has just been having a rough start to the season, and I think that may continue. I just don't see where the goals are coming from. Eze doesn't have help in that defense, it's just leaking goals. Bournemouth against Brighton. Actually a very interesting game full of goals because both defenses I'm not sure about. And Everton versus Brentford. I think this will be a rough and dogged game, but I do think Brentford will pull through. Fulham play at home to Wolves. I think Fulham make it 2 in a row, and Wolves 3 in a row. And I think that Wolves are go back to losing ways. You know, their defense has not been great. I do think they'll score, but I think Fulham will top this one. And to top off the Saturday games, it's a big one. Man City, after 2 games without a win in the league, against Tottenham Hotspur. How's this going to go, guys? Let me know in the comments. Let me know who you think is going to win. Which team gets back to winning ways, if any. Southampton versus Liverpool. I think Liverpool dominate them. I see a 4-11 in their future. Mo Salah gets at least 2. I don't think it's close at all. What game will be closer, I think, is Ipswich versus Man United. Ipswich always find a way to score. Finally got that first one under their belt. Confidence will be high. Man United under Ruben Amorim, what do we expect? Is he going to dominate football with this back three that everyone says he's going to play? Where is Bruno's role going to be? How is he going to fit the certain players we have in the club? For example, we have Casemiro and Ugarte who both like to hold. Where is Bruno going to play? Who's going to be the wing backs? Will Mazraoui be a wing back, or will Tucking at centre back? How is it going to work? I'm very excited to see. I do think Man United will pull through, but I don't think it will be that easy as it was last week. And finally on Monday we have Newcastle versus West Ham. And I think Newcastle maintained their dominant performances against a very weak West Ham side. So those are my picks this week, guys. In terms of upsets, there are not too many upsets I'm calling for this week. However, I do have Brighton dropping points to Bournemouth, and Man City once more going winless against Spurs, making it, I don't even know how long since their last league win. Other than that, I do think it's pretty straightforward how it's going to go. You guys can let me know what picks I have wrong. Laugh at my picks, tell me how bad they are. I'm all here for it, guys. Alright, a little bit look at fantasy. My week didn't go too bad, you know. I was very uncertain between Salah and Haaland. Was Haaland going to prove all the haters wrong? The answer is no. Very grateful I captained Salah. If only I could have had Bruno Fernandes, right? Very grateful I captained Salah. Also had the likes of Smith Rowe pulling in 11 points. And Mazraoui with that clean sheet pulling in 8 points. Missed out on Fabianski points on the bench. And Rico Lewis with 0 points. Once again disappointing. Trent with the first half sub due to injury. Missing out on the clean sheet. Yeah, other than defensive issues, Palmer against Arsenal was a bit quiet. I expected that, to be honest. But 73 points is not a bad week. I'll take it, and we'll see how we can improve next week. So with 4 free transfers, and I currently have 3.4 million in the bank, this is what I'm looking to work with, guys. Let me know, what do you guys think? What should I change? Is it a good team? It's like a mini wild card because I had 4 free transfers. Bringing back my faith in Bruno, although I find whenever I take him on my team, he does well. So if he blanks, blame it on me, guys. Now I have 3.4 million in the bank, so I'm studying either upgrading Rico Lewis to a better defender that can alternate with Aït-Nouri, because Rico Lewis just has not been doing it for me. A yellow card and conceding 2 goals, so a 0-pointer for him. And then Mbeumo, I'm thinking about upgrading him to Saka. Since Wiss has been back, he's kind of stayed further out wide and not been as much goal scoring positions. However, he's on all set pieces, so always a chance for him to score points. So I think I'm gonna go with it for this week, and then next week I'll decide what I want to do in terms of either Mbeumo or Rico Lewis upgrading. The only issue is here is when I want to go back to Haaland, I have to sell at least 2 players. Probably be Isaac and downgrading a midfielder to get back Haaland. So we'll see how that goes. I do want to change my keeper, but I'm not wasting a transfer on a keeper. So this is my squad for this week, guys. Let me know, is it the good choice? Is it the right cap to pick? What am I missing? What should I do different? I'm taking into consideration. Alright, so who's going to be my player of the week? Well, I captained him in fantasy. That's a little tip. So I'm going to go with Mo Salah. Against Southampton, he's just back to his lethal ways, and I see him getting at least 2, if not a hat-trick. He's just in some sublime form. Liverpool are not messing with their food. They're taking care of business, and I think it's a very dominant display against Southampton. I think at least 3 or 4-0. Getting into a little bit of betting picks, you know, because why not? If you're watching football, you could as well make some money, you know. So I've picked Mo Salah and Cole Palmer to score against the smaller sides in Leicester and Southampton. I feel pretty confident in that. In terms of yellow cards, Spurs against Man City, you know it's going to be a feisty one. Bentancur loves a yellow card. He's always arguing with the ref, so I think he can get a yellow card pretty easily. And Paqueta, that Brazil battle in midfield with Bruno G, Joelinton against Paqueta. You know he's always ready for a foul. Newcastle have to play on the counter. I can see a Paqueta yellow coming in. And then for the full-time result, I have Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, and Newcastle all to win. I could have done Arsenal, but you know Arsenal just haven't been doing it for me. They just haven't been playing that dominant fashion as they have before. So this full-time result pays out 5-1. I can't find anything about the goals or the yellow cards as yet to give you guys odds because it's so early and they haven't come out yet. When they do, I'm sure to let you know. Other than that, I think that it's a pretty safe bet. If you put it all together, 5-1 for the full-time result. I want to say 50-1 if you put everything together. I might dabble, you know, who knows? Give myself a little vacation money. If you want some long shots though, feeling a little frisky, want to try something a little riskier, Danny Welbeck to score versus Bournemouth. I like that pick a lot. João Pedro is only now coming back for injury. Welbeck has been in form all season. He has 6 goals so far this season. And also, after international break, I find the Brighton players from South America sometimes get rested, such as Estupiñán and for Ecuador, and João Pedro for Brazil. A long distance to travel, so they might not start this game. So keep that in mind when you're picking your team, okay, guys? Here's the yellow cards. Romero, once again against Man City. That battle versus Haaland. I'm sure it'll be very physical, and I wouldn't be surprised if Romero also got a yellow card. Now the result is a little bit trickier. I'm going with Man City and Spurs to draw. That is a little riskier, obviously, but you know, I feel like if you want to feel a little friskier, put it together. Let me know who went with it. If it wins, buy me a lunch, okay? Alrighty guys, that's gonna cover everything for this episode. See you guys for now.